And we are live. Hello, everyone. Good evening from the UK, where I live here, and where we are broadcasting our live streaming event at the moment. Um, I would like to say thank you to all of you who are tuning into this Facebook page and watching this live talk program tonight. And for the benefit of all new followers out there, allow me to introduce myself before we dive into our program tonight. So, my name is Debbie Pello. I am a wife and a mother of a grown up son. He is already 23 years old now. And I'm originally from Indonesia, and I moved to the UK almost 6 years ago after getting married to my husband, who is originally from the UK. And I have a long job experience as a secretary and personal assistant for more than 10 years back in my country in Indonesia. And now that I live to the UK now, where I live right now, I have a totally different career. As now I'm working as a kitchen assistant in one of private hospitals in the UK. So I am a kitchen assistant by profession, and I'm also a proud digital business owner by choice. So uh, I'm doing this live talk program every now and then for a reason. So this program is for any of you who are struggling and looking for a way to have a better life for their family and for themselves. This program is for any of you who wants to have a change in their life, to have a better life, to have a life balance and have a quality of life. So you could be an employee, you could be a housewife, you could be a student, you could be self-employed, you could be traditional business owners and anything. But you feel that you need something more because you need that life balance, and you need something better for yourself and for your family. So this program is to inform you that there is hope, there is a way for you to reach your dream. And that's why in this program, I'm going to present and showcase to you the proof. There are so many proof of those people who used to be like you right now, and now they have a totally a happy and so much better life by doing this business. So I hope you keep tuning into this program, and I really hope this program will inspire you, to give you insight, and to have points to be considered for your life. So now I'm so excited because in the studio right now we have a very, very special guest, and she is a she has a very tight schedule. She's very busy, so I'm so grateful for her to set aside her time and spending her time to be with us and share her journey in this online digital business. So I'm going to hand it over to you. We have Dr. Susie Jacob Francis. She's a doctor, or in the UK we call it a GP, general practitioner. So, how are you, Susie? Are you okay today?
I'm fine, Debbie. Thank you for having me here, and
Oh,
yeah,
it's a
it's
pleasure.
an honor and pleasure to be here.
Oh, same here, same here. So, Susie, I'm going to hand it over to you, and can you introduce yourself before we start our program?
Absolutely. Okay. So, hi everyone. And so, for the benefit of people who are following our pages newly, or people like, especially from my point of view, from Debbie's page, who don't know me, so I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Susie Jacob. and I am a business coach and a GP by training and a digital entrepreneur by choice. I live in the UK with my husband, who is a private chef by background. He's now boss free for now exactly 12 months. Since 14 months into the business, I was able to make him boss free. And I was working as a full time general practitioner, anything between 5 and 6 days a week. And now I have cut down to 3.5 days a week, all thanks to the business.
Wow, that is amazing. So everyone must be very curious, right? I mean, you have a very, very good career, and it's a well-paid job, right? I mean, so I'm really sure every one of us who's watching this live talk, they're curious why. Yeah, why did you decide to build another stream of income on top of your very good career?
Yeah, for me, I think the turning point for me was COVID. It made me realize
Ah,
that life is fragile. I have just today, only today is guaranteed, tomorrow is a bonus, really.
yeah.
So, and that was made very clear to me with COVID. We've lost a lot of medical professionals.
Mm,
I've lost people who I knew personally due to COVID.
mm,
And also, there was a scare at a point during COVID that people from Asian and Black origin, they were, especially men, were dying. And I was
mm,
out there seeing patients, and I was always
mm.
scared to bring the virus back home. Because
Ah,
if anything had happened to my husband, these are sort of things I don't know whether someone will ever, you'll ever forgive yourself, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Um, but at that point in time, my husband was not working because he was about to shift jobs. So he didn't manage to get into his new job because the lockdown
Mm,
started.
mm,
And so he didn't get the furlough scheme. Like everyone who was not
mm,
working ended up with furlough scheme. But because he was in the midst of changing jobs, we never ended up having that. So I was the
mm,
only breadwinner. So that made me even more difficult to go, take a bit time off or go part time or anything like that at that point in time. And it made me realize, what if I became unwell, or what if someone I love become unwell? Can I afford to cut down my sessions or not go to work for a while? And the answer was no. So that was the turning point for me, and I was like, that's not working smart. So I
mm,
wanted something to have a peace of mind. For me, the peace of mind was more important than anything else, and I wanted peace of mind that whether I go in for work, whether my husband's working or not, like Lewis, my husband's not working at the moment, so you
mm.
know I needed that extra stream of income. So whether I am working, whether I'm on holiday, whether I'm doing something else, I wanted that extra stream, just for a peace of mind. Because if there's pandemic once, it can happen
Yeah,
anytime again. Really, it can happen anytime again.
yeah.
So I just want to be prepared, and this time I want the choice to say that no, I want to take some time off work, or I want to work from home or something, some option if anything like that was to happen.
Mm.
And now I have that option. If I didn't want to go, I have an extra stream of income.
Yeah, I mean, that pandemic really, really changed everyone's view of life, right? It really smacked us on the face that people started to think about their security in life in the future. I mean, so in my opinion, I mean, is is there any other reason than that? I mean, is it like, do you have more time with your family, or something more than that?
So that was the turning point, but there was things in the background, obviously, for years. My
Mm.
daughter was unhappy because I was never at home,
Ah,
and she's the only child, so it's not like she had siblings also.
yeah.
She, when she was very young, we had a live-in nanny. But then, after 8, we didn't really need a live-in nanny. She was
Yeah.
old enough not to have a nanny as such, and
Mm.
things like that. But then, when we are at work, she was lonely. And
Ah.
when after having especially after an on call or a duty shift, I come back home, you're
Yeah.
so stressed and burnt out after that. And she used to
Mm.
pounce on me. Poor thing, wanted to say how her day was, but I
Yeah.
was not in the mental state of frame of mind to actually listen to what she had to tell me. And I
Yeah.
used to just be angry with everyone. I used to be angry
Mm.
with my husband. I used to be angry with her. um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so that was there. But still, it was there in the back of my mind that, I was not spending enough time, but I was still giving the excuse that the sacrifice is for a better future. Like how we are
Mm.
all taught, we all make sacrifices for our children to
Yeah.
give them a better future, and every mom does that. So
Yeah.
even though there was something in the, back of my head saying, I wish there was something I could do.
Yeah.
I think the major push was the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to really start. I said, I've missed all my daughter's young age. Like when she took her first step, I was doing night shift.
Ah.
My mom took a video of her walking and
Ah.
sent it to me. I still remember I was crying. I
Ah.
was crying like anything, because that mom guilt that you're not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was all there. And now I think she tells both me and my husband, "You're always in the house." Now, obviously, she's a teenager. You're always in the.
She cannot get rid of you now.
That's what she says. Now you're always in the house. I was like, well, for
Ah,
all the years you've missed out, now you have us both smothering you.
oh, that's a good thing, though, right? I mean, yeah, that's the problem with our job. Like, it's we sacrifice our time for money, right? Because it's an active income. If we don't work, we don't have money. If we want money, we have to go to work. So
Absolutely.
I think that's what that's what makes people really struggling because uh, they always have to sacrifice their time with the family for their job, and then some people are not so lucky to have like a better income, so it's much harder for them.
Yeah.
And also I think to have another stream of income is also for our, yeah, like you said, a peace of mind, because we never know what happens in the future, right?
Mhm.
It's always out there in the unknown. So it's to have a second stream of income, like plan B,
Mhm.
is it's really give you peace of mind. Wow, that's amazing. I mean, very, very inspirational. So now let's go to the next question. Now, because you have you have a job as a doctor, general practitioner, you have a family, and now you're doing this digital business. How do you manage your schedule in between all those?
Yeah. So this is something, because I have lots of doctors in my team, and one
Yeah,
of the things I do say is like, we are all busy, and especially when we start the business, it's not like I cut my sessions down and then started the business. So when I
yeah,
started the business just over 2 years ago, I was
yeah,
working full time. So anything between 5 and 6 days a week, I was working. And that is anything between 9 and 12 hours was my shift,
wow,
depending on what type of job I was doing that day.
yeah,
Um, and so it's not like I had all the luxury and luxurious time in the world to do whatever I wanted. And
yeah,
when you're back from work, I think we are all so tired, and
yeah,
what we generally, we can't, we just want to then sit in front of the TV and watch Netflix or binge on Prime and things like
yeah,
that. And that's what I was doing, because I just want to de-stress.
yeah.
And but the thing is, at the end of the day, even after the long shift, I realized that I used to come back and spend an hour, because I used to remember
Mm.
me and my husband sometimes sit and watch movies every night.
Yeah, yeah.
Every night.
Same with me. Yeah,
Yeah, every
yeah,
night watch a movie or half of a movie or something like that. You
yeah,
do, or you watch a series or something.
yeah,
And so what it tells us is that even though we work long hours, we come back home and just entertain ourselves in front of the TV
Mm.
or the mobile or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So what I did was I knew I needed to change my life, and I knew
Mm.
that meant that I had to make a sacrifice, short term for the long term goal of
Yeah.
where I am at the moment, or even, I have a further much more goal, but yeah, to have some time freedom and financial freedom. So what I did is I used to spend at least an hour or an hour and a half a day
Mm.
on the business. So what I mean by that, I didn't actually spend the whole 1.5 hours together. What I
Mm.
used to do is I used to use pockets of time during my day. So maybe
Mm.
15 minutes before I go in for work. Then,
Mm.
as a general practitioner, during lunch hour, we do our paperwork, prescriptions, documents,
Mm.
all those sort of things. I'm
Yeah.
not actually seeing patients that time. So, what I did is I used to listen to the training at that time. So, I
Yeah.
used to listen to it in the background and do my paperwork. So, that
Yeah.
was also time with the business. And then I used to come back, settle down a bit, maybe watch one series or something again
Yeah.
to de-stress. And then I would spend the rest of the time, like half an hour or 45 minutes, then, doing something business related. And that's all I did.
Mm.
So altogether about an hour and a half, maybe weekends a bit more longer,
Yeah. Yeah.
when I had the time. And that's what I did. And
Mm.
of course, now I'm a coach. I do a lot
Yeah.
more, and I have a lot more time because I have a team also to look after and things like that. But yeah, so I have a bit more time now, but that was not how I started, was completely different. So when people say
Yeah.
they don't have the time, I say, well, I didn't, but it
Yeah.
depends on how you prioritize your time. We all spend time. On an average, people spend 2.5 hours a day
Mm.
on social media. So
Yeah.
all we are saying is that you need an hour or an hour and a half.
Mm.
So, and
Mm.
what I do is I'm still on social media, but I
Mm.
intentionally scroll. I
Mm.
intentionally, like, I watch it to learn
Mm.
something from someone else, maybe a technique, how they're talking,
Mm.
skill or something like that. So I intentionally scroll at the moment. Of course, I
Mm.
still scroll to other things, but I do keep that time aside to actually spend on my personal development even today.
Mm. Wow. That is, I think that's the good thing about this business, right, Susie? I mean, you can do it anywhere. You can do it anytime you have time or your schedule. So but it still amazed me how you able to do that. I think it's because you have the desire, the determination to do it. So everything, right? If you
Yeah,
have a
it's a
strong, yeah,
discipline actually.
discipline,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
you
more
have to
than
have that
discipline.
discipline. It is, it depends on how strong your why is. For
Mm,
me, by the time I think COVID was the last straw for me.
mm,
As I've mentioned, things were not easy, it was difficult,
yeah,
but COVID was like the last straw, and I was like, I had
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I need a change in my life. So my
yeah,
desire for change was greater than my pain for
yeah,
not changing.
yeah,
Because no one likes to change. Let's be honest, no one likes. Everyone likes to stay where they are, but my, you know, desire for change was much more than my fear of not, of staying in status quo.
yeah.
So that's why I decided that way.
Yeah, I think it's true. I mean, if you have a dream, it's not just dream like on the sky on the cloud. We need to put that into action, right? Because if you have a dream and you don't put it into action, it's just daydreaming, right? It's nothing happen, nothing changing.
Mhm, mhm.
So I think that what your answer before, I think is connected to my next question. Uh, what is your reason or reasons in choosing this business compared to other business out there? Because there are many good things about this business, right? You already mentioned it before. You could do it anytime in between your busy work. So what are the reasons that you see is so much better than other business out there?
I'm primarily, whether people believe it or not, I'm an introverted person. So
Mm,
um,
yeah.
for me to be doing this is required a lot of discipline, lot of practice, lot of
Yeah.
but still I feel this business is very good for an introverted person. Like, I have done other businesses before doing this, especially I was in property.
Ah.
And the thing was, I used to close deals and things like that. And sometimes there are people, yes, you can do it, you can get someone else to do the viewing and things like that. But there are some customers, who are like house owners, who are like old school, and they want to see you and things like that.
Yeah.
And I remember taking annual leave to kind of go and close deals to see, because the estate agents here, or realtors
Mm,
as they call in US, so they work a specific time, like 9 to 5 or 9 to 6.
mm,
That's the
mm.
time GPs work. So,
Yeah.
and if you ask them, oh, can I do after, they make all this kind of fuss. And even if they
Mm,
agree, then, someone else would have seen by that and closed the deal.
yeah.
So there's no flexibility. And another thing is, you have to go out and meet a lot of people. While
Yeah.
in our business, 90% is automated.
Yeah.
For me, by the time a person comes and talks to me, does the coaching call, they've got all the information.
Mm,
I'm just, doing the last bit of just clarifying a few things. So
yeah.
it's not like, when you are not having this automated system, you have to answer each and everything. And when
Yeah.
you're a busy professional, like, I can't imagine doing that when I was working 5 to 6 days. And
Yeah.
that's why I think some businesses, like any brick and mortar business, you have to be there,
Yeah.
you have to interact a lot with people. Sometimes you might need to throw a party, because you
Oh
need to
yeah.
do networking, things
Yeah.
like that. Don't get me wrong, if you're an extroverted person, you can still do that in our business. People
Yeah.
do that. But
Yeah.
if you're introverted like me, and you're not that's kind of thing,
Mm.
um, person, like, who don't like to socialize that much after work, then this is the best thing ever,
Yeah.
because you just interact as much as you need to, really, which
Mm.
is brilliant for me. So for a person like an introverted person, I feel this business is good. The other thing is, it helps you come out from your comfort zone.
Mm.
I couldn't imagine myself doing this 2 years, ago. I never thought
Mm.
I could do this every week, and which I do every week. So I can't. I just couldn't imagine that. So it's changed. This business has changed me as a person, and for a better. And all these skills that I learn here is also transferable at work.
Oh yeah.
Also, like, because I do a bit of management also, so it is
Yeah.
transferable at work with meetings. I remember when I was first went into management role, I was just having butterflies in my stomach just to be in a meeting with 800 people. It was not,
Oh
not a good thing. But when you're in social media, and although this is reaching thousands
yeah.
out there potentially, it doesn't have that sort of feeling, which is good. It's like both of us
Yeah.
just having a conversation. While
Yeah.
I don't know how comfortable I will be still in talking in stages and things like that. Maybe some,
Yeah.
but not at the moment.
Yeah. 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 I think that's. I'm also introvert like you. It takes me ages to. I mean, I have like social media, but I barely even posted anything there. So the good thing in the business is we not only we have financial growth, we also have personality growth, right? So
Personal
it's a great
development, yeah.
thing, yeah. And we have more friends and people from all over the world. This is not just limited to one country, it's all over the world, it's global. It's just mind blowing for me, yeah. And
Great.
then we have the automated system, like you said, because everyone can do the training by themselves anytime they can, right? And all this business in the background uh, is going by themselves, even though we are sleeping.
Yep.
So many things that really really help help us save time,
Hmm.
because all of us are very busy people, right?
Hmm.
But with all these advantages of this business, it really helps us a lot.
Hmm.
And it's a proof that you could be, you know you can retire your husband in just how many 40 months
40
after
months,
work?
yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, that will go to the next question, right? How much income can we expect from this business?
That depends entirely on you.
Yeah.
Like for me, as I've mentioned, like I didn't have the luxury of, you know, you know, studying for 4 5. The income comes first. You have to learn before you
Mm,
earn.
yeah.
You need to know the system. This
Mm,
is not a get quick rich scheme. You need to know our system, you need to study our system, you need to go through the process. That
mm,
takes time. I didn't have more than an hour or an hour and a half, so for
mm,
me to start earning, I started earning from month 3. There are
mm.
people in my team who started earning in week 3 because they used to spend
Wow.
4 hours 8 hours in the weekend, and they set
Wow.
it all up and started earning in from week 3 week 4. So
Wow.
it all entirely that depends on you. Are you willing to sit, close the room, study for 5 6 hours a day? You will see your
Mm,
results within a month. You don't have the time? It's okay because there's no targets to reach. You
yeah.
are your own business owner and you get there at your own pace because there's no monthly targets, nothing to reach. If you reach a certain rank, you're not going to lose that rank just because you can't maintain that many sales or anything like that, like other
Yeah.
businesses. There's nothing like that. You don't
Yeah.
lose your ranks, you don't
Yeah.
lose your position or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, so and then we have people who used to shut themselves down in the room for 12 months, I mean 12 hours a day for 3 months and started earning six figures within 3 months.
Wow.
But I don't want to compare myself to any of them because
Yeah.
my situation is different and I'm happy with my progress.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, but one thing for sure, this business has money. It has revenue for if you're doing it in any time that you can do, right? And as you say, so we are business owners. No one's telling you what to do. Okay, you need to start at this time, and then if not, you will be kicked out, right?
No,
Uh,
nothing to that.
yeah. So you can do it fast or you can do it slow. No one will be angry at you because you're your own business owner. So that's a good thing in a way, right? And then so, guys, if you're listening, this if we do this online digital business seriously, uh, it can change your life, right? And then we have many proof that people can get like 5 figures or 6 figures income after a while. So it's only after several years, right, Susie? So many people have can make it after several years. If you compare as an employee, we are working like 40 years of our lives. And then when we retire, we only have pension, which is like a big drop, right,
Yeah,
from
you
a
can't even
salary.
survive with your pension. It's hardly the
Yeah.
average pension in the UK. The average pension is £19,000 a year.
That's the average, right?
That's the average. So if
Yeah.
you're a higher earner, you might get around 40, 44. But then
Mm.
even if you think, you have to think about inflation.
Yeah, exactly.
So 19,000 and inflation, you wouldn't be
Yeah,
even able to pay your electric bill with that.
exactly.
Gas
It
and
will
electric.
not catch up. It will not catch up the
Yeah. And
inflation with
you
the
think like,
pension.
okay, I'm working for 40 years. After working 40 years, I'm going to travel the world. You won't have
Mm.
even money to do that. You'd have
Yeah,
hardly money to survive.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
And
if you, yeah, I mean, it's just crazy thinking we're working 40 years and we end up with something small, and then we're doing this business, I mean, like consistently only for several years you can retire and you can have a flexibility and quality of life, right?
yeah.
So it's just amazing. So now let's go to the next question, Susie. Did you have any doubts about this business at the beginning? Some kind of skepticism, or like aware, like worried or something like that?
Personally, because I came from a different business, so I
Mm,
saw the value in this business because I had done
mm,
one or two businesses before that. And
mm,
compared to those businesses, I was like, this is gold mine. But
mm.
obviously, my husband didn't share my enthusiasm. So I think that was my initial struggle because he
Yeah,
was like, he knows I'm an introverted person. And
yeah.
when I told him online business, obviously, actually, I didn't even tell him that I joined. I told him after 2 weeks into the business only, I told him
Uh,
I joined the business because I was scared to tell him. Because he knew that I'm a social, introverted person. Like
yeah.
I didn't have WhatsApp. I started having WhatsApp when my parents got into WhatsApp.
Ah,
I didn't have Facebook. I started Facebook because my parents were into Facebook. I'm that
ah.
bad. I was that bad. Um, so my husband was like, what are you getting yourself into? You don't even like socializing and you're doing social media marketing. So, and he was like, oh, you're just going to waste all this money. Because I had done a few things, got a bit of profit in that here and there.
Yeah.
And he was like, what are you really trying to do? And then I was like, you don't understand my pain. We had an argument with that. And then he is like,
Yeah.
do what you want. No, I don't. So then obviously I did what I want, but I was able to retire him in 14 months.
Very, yeah, yeah. Some people are different. Some people are very, they can trust right away because they know the potential of this business. But some people are a little bit in doubt. They think giving a thought like twice, three times. Taking time to decide, right? So I think it's a very, very inspiring talk tonight with you, Susie. Uh, what I want you to give some any closing note before we close our live talk. Do you
Sure.
have any advice to
So
those who are still struggling, praying to find a way to have a better life for their family, but still in doubt about starting this business?
yeah, absolutely. So the thing is, many people, like when I started my first business and all, I started because I was like, I was fed up with where I was. I wanted
Mm,
more. I knew that, I wanted to be more, have more for my family and for my future. Because by that time, I did a lot of reading about money, tax, finances. And
mm,
then, it was a scary thought of how much I was going to get as
yeah,
pension. And then I'm like, I knew by that time that I couldn't work the hours that I was working into my 50s and 60s because I was finding it hard even in my 40s by that time
yeah.
to do the hours that I was doing. And it was scary, but then, and then you're in a point where you see so many ads coming up, you see so many people giving their opinion about things, and you're afraid whether you're going to make a mistake.
Mm,
Let me tell you now itself, every one of us made mistakes, but your mistakes are going to be your learning curves in life, so you
yeah.
learn from your mistakes and you have to take them as lessons rather than failures. You will never get clarity unless you take the next step. So what we are trying to do is we are just placing an opportunity in front of you. We have spoken about the pros and cons of various businesses versus this business. And if what we have talked today resonates with you, take the next step. Get in
Mm,
touch with us wherever you're watching, whether you're watching in my page or Debbie's page. Get in touch with us. Ask us what the next process is. And
mm,
we will, guide you what the next process is. The information's all completely free, and
mm,
then once you watch that, you feel, yes, I'd like to know more, you then just take the next step. But if you watch that and you're like, nah, this is not for me, that's absolutely fine. But one
mm,
thing that you shouldn't do is not do anything. If
mm,
this is not the business for you, find something, because if you're just going to rely on your job, I can tell you, guarantee you're going to be disappointed, because you come to the realization that your pension is pants and you don't have enough to even survive. So don't let that happen, and don't come to a point where you rely only on your job and something happens to you, your family, and you don't have a backup plan. So make sure you have that backup plan, whether it's with us or with something else. And that's it, I guess, Debbie. So over to you.
Thank you, Susie. Yeah, to any one of you who wants to find out more info about this online digital business, we really advise you to watch our free webinar. Yeah, and it's free, so you can get in touch with me or Susie to give you the link to the free webinar, and then get contact with us for the next step, because that's what I did. Because at the beginning I was in doubt, I was skeptical, but I didn't stand still. I didn't do nothing. I took action because I thought I have nothing to lose. What I needed to do is I wanted to take all the information as complete as I can, and then I will make decision after that, because there is no commitment. I mean, just like Susie said, it's better to find all the information, and then at the end of the day you decide. If you say this business is not for me, then it's okay. But if you say I would love to do, at the end of the day, after all the information that you have, you decide this business is for me. We are all here to support you. We have the wonderful community. You will have mentor and coach to help you and guide you along the way to go to your to find your dream, yeah, to achieve your dream. So uh, reach out to us, and you can send a direct message to either me or Susie, and we will reach out to you right away after that. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and I'm really want to say thank you to Susie for being our guest tonight in between her busy schedule. I really appreciate that. You're a special guest tonight. So thank you so much for inspiring us, Susie. I hope,
Thank you so much, Debbie, for having me. Thank
yeah,
you.
hope we can meet up somewhere someday, right? In
Yeah,
person.
absolutely.
Okay,
All right.
okay. So that's it for tonight, everyone, and I will see you again for the next live talk in the next event. Thank you, and have a nice evening. Bye
Take care. Bye bye.
bye.
Bye. Bye bye.